Welcome to Long Movie Practice Test 1. Next section. Agent Architecture. Question 1. An agentic system must react instantly to streaming sensor data while also reasoning over long-term historical context to set goals. Which architecture best fits? Option 1. Orally reactive architecture. Option 2. Orally deliberative architecture. Option A. Hybrid layered architecture. Option A. Subsumption only architecture. The correct answer is A. Hybrid by layered architectures pair a reactive layer, fast, reflexive, with a deliberative layer, planning, reasoning, making them ideal when a system needs both instant responses and goal-directed reasoning over context. Question 2. In the evac agent pattern, what is the defining characteristic of how the agent operates? Option A. It generates a complete plan first, then executes every step without further reasoning. Option it interleaves reasoning traces, hot with tool calls, action, and results observation in a loop. Option it only acts and never produces intermediate reasoning. Option A. It runs multiple agents in parallel and votes on a final answer. The correct answer is A. Evac, reasoning plus vecting, interleaves thought, action, and observation steps so the model can reason about each observation before deciding the next action, improving grounding and tool use. Question 3. Which of the following are hallmarks of a well-designed agent architecture? Select all that apply. Option A. Clear separation between reasoning by planning and tool execution. Option A. Modular swappable components model tools memory. Option Word coding all decision logic directly into a single prompt. Option A. Define state management and observability hooks. The correct answers are O and A. Would agent architectures favor separation of concerns, modularity, explicit state, and observability? Ramming all logic into one giant prompt is brittle and unobservable. Question 4. Compared with evac, what is a primary advantage of the plan and execute architecture for complex multi-step tasks? Option A. It eliminates the need for any tools. Option it produces an explicit upfront plan, reducing per step calls and keeping long tasks on track. Option it guarantees the model never hallucinates. Option A. It removes the need for any model at all. The correct answer is A. Plan and execute separates a planner, creates the full plan once, from an executor, carries out steps. This reduces redundant reasoning calls and helps keep long, complex tasks aligned to the goal, at the cost of less adaptivity than evac. Question 5. How does the reflection self-critique pattern add to an agent's loop? Option A step where the agent evaluates and critiques its own output and revises it. Option B guarantee of deterministic outputs. Option A way to remove the language model from the loop. Option A method to encrypt agent memory. The correct answer is B. Reflection, for example, reflection inserts a self-critique step, the agent assesses its own output against the goal, then revises. This iterative refinement often improves quality on reasoning and coding tasks. Question 6. Then is a multi-agent design preferable to a single agent design? Select all that apply. Option A. The task decomposes into distinct specialties that benefit from focused prompts by tools. Option A. Do need parallelism across independent subtasks. Option A. The task is trivial and fits comfortably in one prompt. Option A. Do want to isolate failures and tool permissions per role. The correct answers are O and A. Multi-agent designs help when work splits into specialties, benefits from parallelism, or needs per role isolation. For trivial tasks, multiple agents add needless coordination, overhead, and latency. Question 7. In a supervisor-orchestrator worker multi-agent pattern, what is the supervisor's main responsibility? Option A. Do execute every tool call itself. Option A. Do route tasks to the appropriate worker agents and integrate their results. Option A. Do store all vector embeddings. Option A. Do fine-tune the base model during execution. The correct answer is A. In orchestrator worker supervisor patterns, the supervisor delegates subtasks to specialized workers, coordinates their execution, and synthesizes their outputs into a final response. Question 8. Thai is designing agent backend services to be stateless, with state stored externally, considered a best practice. Option A. It makes horizontal scaling and recovery easier because any replica can handle any request. Option it prevents the agent from ever using memory. Option it removes the need for a load balancer. Option A. It guarantees lower model accuracy. The correct answer is B. Keeping the service tier stateless and persisting conversation by agent state externally, for example, a database or cache, allows any replica to serve any request, simplifying autoscaling, failover, and rolling deployments. Question 9. Which components are typically part of an agent's core loop? Select all that apply. Action by reasoning by planning component, the type policy. Action tools by actions the agent can invoke. Action memory by state to carry context across steps. Action I by physical thermal sensor as a required element. The correct answers are N. An agent loop is generally built from a reasoning policy, the model, a set of tools by actions, and memory by state. Hardware sensors are infrastructure, not part of the agent's logical architecture. Question 10. When agent frequently loops on the same failing action without making progress. Which architectural safeguard most directly addresses this? Action by the maximum step by iteration limit and loop detection to halt or escalate. Action increase the temperature to maximum. Action remove all tools from the agent. Action disable logging to save resources. The correct answer is Wounding the agent with a maximum number of iterations plus loop by no progress detection is the standard control flow safeguard against infinite cycles, allowing the system to stop or escalate to a human.
Next section, agent development. Question 11. Then you give a tool via function calling. What does the model actually produce when it decides to use that tool? Action, the fully executed result of the tool. Action, was structured call, tool name plus arguments, matching the tool's schema. Action, a new fine-tuned model checkpoint. Action, raw machine code. The correct answer is function by tool calling. The model outputs a structured request, the tool name and arguments conforming to the provided in a schema. The application executes the tool and returns the result to the model. Question 12. Don't need an agent's output to be reliably parsable as conforming to a fixed schema. That is the most robust approach. Action, mask politely in the prompt and hope for valid action. A structured output by constraint decoding bound to a schema, for example, a mode or a pydantic model. Action, increase max tokens to a very large value. Action, disable the system prompt. The correct answer is a structured output via constraint by guided decoding or schema binding, a mode, pydantic by function schemas, is far more reliable than prompt requests alone for producing valid, parsable structured data. Question 13. Which capabilities make TangRF well suited for building stateful agents? Select all that apply. Action, graph of nodes and edges that support cycles by loops. Action, built-in persistent state via checkpointers. Action, native human in the loop interrupts. Action, it is a kernel compiler for Rangva. The correct answers are U and A. TangRF represents agent workflows as a stateful graph with cycles, checkpointed persistence, and human in the loop interrupts. It is an orchestration framework, not a low-level hub compiler. Question 14. Our team needs to build a document question answering system focused primarily on indexing and retrieval over large private corpora. Which framework is most specialized for that data by retrieval layer? Action, Talaman index, unit testing framework, home styling library, container registry. The correct answer is Talaman index is purpose-built for the data framework layer, ingesting, chunking, indexing, and retrieving over private documents. Hain by TangRF are more general orchestration frameworks that are often used alongside it. Question 15. That problem does the loadal context protocol primarily solve for agent development? Action, it standardizes how the applications connect to external tools and data sources. Action, it compresses model weights for mobile devices. Action, it replaces the need for any language model. Action, it is a vector similarity metric. The correct answer is The loadal context protocol is an open standard that defines how the apps expose and consume tools, resources, and prompts, reducing custom one-off integrations between agents and external systems. Question 16. THI is streaming tokens from the model valuable in interactive agent applications. Action, it reduces perceived latency by showing partial output as it is generated. Action, it increases total compute required per request. Action, it guarantees the answer is always correct. Action, it eliminates the need for a hubber. The correct answer is Streaming improves the user experience by reducing perceived latency. Partial output appears as it is generated, which is especially valuable for long agent responses and chat interfaces. Question 17. Which are best practices when designing tools for an agent? Select all that apply. Action, write clear, descriptive tool names and parameter descriptions. Action, return concise, structured results the model can parse. Action, Make tool side effects unpredictable and undocumented. Action A. Validate and sanitize tool inputs. The correct answers are U and A. Effective tools have clear descriptions, so the model picks them correctly, return concise structured output, and validate inputs. Documented, unpredictable side effects are an anti-pattern. Question 18. When agent must follow a specific output style demonstrated by a few worked examples. Which prompting technique fits best? Action A. Two-shot prompting with in-context examples. Action A. Reducing the context window to 0. Option A. Disabling the tokenizer. Option A. Betting top underscore p to 0 to remove all examples. The correct answer is V. Two-shot prompting supplies a handful of input-output examples in context, guiding the model to match the demonstrated format and behavior without any fine-tuning. Question 19. A tool call inside an agent fails with a transient network error. That is the most robust runtime handling. Action A. Hatch the error, retrieve with backoff, and feed a clear error message back to the agent if it still fails. Action A. Rash the entire agent process. Action A. Violently ignore the failure and continue as if it succeeded. Action A. Return the raw stack trace as the final user answer. The correct answer is V. Robust agents wrap tool calls with error handling, retrieve transient failures with backoff, and on persistent failure return a clear, structured error observation so the agent can adapt or escalate gracefully. Question 20. When agent must call several independent, slow ways to assemble an answer. Which implementation choice reduces total latency the most? Action A. Execute the independent tool calls concurrently by asynchronously. Action A. Execute them strictly one after another. Action A. Run each call 3 times before moving on. Action A. Increase the model temperature. The correct answer is V. Then tool calls are independent and ABIO bound, executing them concurrently, async by parallel, overlaps their latencies, and is far faster than sequential execution.
Next section, evaluation and learning. Question 21. That is the core idea behind DAI as a gauge evaluation. Option A. Using a capable DAI to score or compare outputs against criteria or a reference. Option A. Using a human panel exclusively for every score. Option A. Measuring orbit temperature during inference. Option A. Counting the number of tokens only. The correct answer is V. DAI as a gauge uses a strong model to evaluate other models' outputs against a rubric or reference, enabling scalable, automated quality assessment, though it must be checked for bias and calibrated against human labels. Question 22. In AVA evaluation, the AVA faithfulness metric primarily measures what? Option A. Whether the generated answer is grounded in the retrieved context, not hallucinated. Option A. If how fast the retriever returns documents. Option A. The dollar cost of the embedding model. Option A. The number of bubbles used for serving. The correct answer is V. Faithfulness quantifies how well the answer is grounded in the retrieved context, i.e., the degree to which its claims are supported rather than hallucinated. It complements context precision by recall and answer relevancy. Question 23. Which dimensions are important when evaluating an agent beyond final answer accuracy? Select all that apply. Option A. Trajectory by tool use correctness. Did it call the right tools in a sensible order? Option A. Cost and latency per task. Option A. Task completion by goal success rate. Option A. The font used in the agent's source code. The correct answers are U and A. Agent evaluation should cover trajectory by tool use quality, task success, and cost by latency, not just final answer correctness. Cosmetic factors like code formatting are irrelevant to agent performance. Question 24. That distinguishes offline evaluation from online evaluation of an agent. Option A. Offline uses a fixed curated dataset before deployment. Online measures real traffic in production. Option A. Offline requires the internet while online does not. Option A. They are identical in every way. Option A. Online evaluation can only measure usage. The correct answer is V. Offline evaluation runs against a curated, static dataset before release to catch regressions. Online evaluation measures behavior on live production traffic, by tests, user feedback, outcome metrics. Both are needed. Question 25. That does DAO rank adaptation do during fine-tuning? Option A. Drains small low-rank adapter matrices while freezing the original model weights. Option A. Retrains every parameter of the base model from scratch. Option A. Deletes layers from the network to shrink it. Option A. Converts the model to run only on hummus. The correct answer is V. Tourev freezes the pre-trained weights and learns small low-rank adapter matrices, so only a tiny fraction of parameters are trained. This makes fine-tuning cheaper and the adapters easy to store and swap. Question 26. How does a Tourev reduce the memory needed to fine-tune a large model? Option A. It quantizes the frozen base model to 4 bit and trains Tourev adapters on top. Option A. It increases precision to 64 bit floating point. Option A. It removes the need for any urban memory at all. Option A. It trains all weights in full precision. The correct answer is V. So Tourev combines 4 bit quantization of the frozen base model with Tourev adapter training, enabling fine-tuning of very large models on modest urban memory while preserving most of the quality of higher precision tuning. Question 27. The team can improve answer quality by adding fresh, frequently changing factual knowledge to entire app. 10 is EU generally preferable to fine-tuning. Select all that apply. Option 1. The knowledge changes often and must stay current. Option 2. You don't need source citations by provenance for answers. Option 1. The goal is to teach a fixed new output style or format. Option 2. Do want to avoid retraining whenever facts update. The correct answers are U and A. AI suits volatile knowledge, citations, and avoiding retraining because it injects external context at inference time. Fine-tuning is better for teaching durable behaviors, styles, or formats rather than fast-changing facts. Question 28. When agent sometimes outputs confidence statements unsupported by its sources, which evaluation metric most directly targets this issue? Option 1. Roundedness by faithfulness. Option A. Tokens per second throughput. Option A. Power utilization percentage. Option A. Container image size. The correct answer is V. Roundedness by faithfulness metrics detect when an answer makes claims not supported by its retrieved context, the hallmark of hallucination in AI by agent systems.
Next section, deployment and localling. Question 29. Thich Avenue Component is an open source inference serving platform that supports multiple frameworks, dynamic batching, and concurrent model execution. Option A. Avenue written inference server. Option O. Avenue Avame. Option A. Avenue SI. Option A. Avenue Universe. The correct answer is V. Written Inference Server is Avenue's production-grade serving platform, multi-framework support, dynamic batching, concurrent model execution, and model ensembles, making it a backbone for scalable inference. Question 30. That is Avenue Inference Microservices. Option A. Containerized, optimized inference microservices with standard view is that deploy anywhere. Option B. Consumer chatbot mobile app. Option B. Vector database engine. Option A. Spreadsheet plugin. The correct answer is V. AI provides pre-built, performance-optimized inference microservices as containers with standardized is letting teams deploy models consistently across cloud, data center, or workstation with minimal setup. Question 31. Which strategies help an agent service handle large spikes in concurrent users? Select all that apply. Option A. Horizontal autoscaling of stateless replicas behind a load balancer. Option E. Request batching at the inference layer. Option fetching results for repeated or similar queries. Option A. Running everything as a single process on one core. The correct answers are O and A. The killing agent workloads combines horizontal autoscaling, inference batching, and caching. Concentrating everything in one single core process is the opposite of a scalable design. Question 32. How does dynamic batching in an inference server improve urban efficiency? Option A. It groups individual incoming requests into batches to maximize urban utilization and throughput. Option E. It permanently merges different models into one file. Option it reduces model accuracy to save time. Option A. It disables concurrency. The correct answer is V. Dynamic batching collects individual requests arriving close in time into a single batch, improving utilization and overall throughput while balancing against added per request latency. Question 33. In Kubernetes, which mechanism automatically adds or removes pod replicas based on observed load metrics? Option A. Horizontal pod autoscaler server. Option O. Config. Option A. Option A. Network policy. The correct answer is V. The horizontal pod autoscaler adjusts replica counts in response to load metrics, a core building block for elastically scaling agent and inference services on Kubernetes. Question 34. That is the primary purpose of Tensor AI when deploying large language models. Option A. To optimize the inference on AWS, for example, quantization, in-flight batching, optimize kernels. Option to label training data. Option to manage with repositories. Option I. To design web page layouts. The correct answer is A. Tensor AI optimizes the inference on AWS using quantization, optimized attention kernels, page gap cache, and in-flight continuous batching, often powering the performance inside and return. Question 35. Which techniques reduce the urban memory and by or latency cost of serving the-based agents? Select all that apply. Option A. Quantization, for example, AI 8 by 8 by 4 bit of model weights. Option E. Gap cache reuse by paged attention. Option continuous in-flight batching. Option I. Authoring weights in 6.4 bit precision. The correct answers are O and A. Quantization, efficient gap cache by paged attention, and continuous batching all lower the memory and latency cost of toy serving. Using 6.4 bit precision would do the opposite. Question 36. Low control cost, a system should send easy queries to a small cheap model and only route hard queries to a large expensive model. That is this pattern called. Option 1. Nodal routing by cascade. Option 2. Gradient descent. Option A. Localization. Option A. Guarding the database. The correct answer is 1. Nodal routing, cost cascade, uses a classifier or heuristics to send simple requests to small by cheap models and escalate only the hard ones to larger models, optimizing the cost by quality trade-off.
Next section, cognition and memory. Question 37. Why are vector databases well suited to an agent's long-term memory? Option A. They enable semantic similarity search to retrieve relevant memories by meaning. Option A. They guarantee zero storage cost. Option A. They only support exact string matching. Option A. They encrypt all data by default. The correct answer is A. Vector databases store embeddings and support nearest neighbor, semantic search, letting an agent recall contextually relevant memories by meaning even when wording differs, which is ideal for long-term memory. Question 38. Which statement correctly contrasts short-term and long-term memory in an agent? Option A. Short-term memory is the working context for the current task. Long-term memory persists knowledge across sessions. Option A. Short-term memory is always larger than long-term memory. Option A. Long-term memory must live entirely in the context window. Option I. They are the same thing with different names. The correct answer is A. Short-term working memory holds the current task context, often within the model's context window or graph state. Long-term memory persists across sessions in an external store and is retrieved as needed. Question 39. Which of the following are commonly recognized categories of agent memory? Select all that apply. Option episodic memory, specific past interactions by events. Option semantic memory, general facts by knowledge. Option procedural memory, how to perform tasks by skills. Option thermal memory, the heat history. The correct answers are O and A. Agent memory is often categorized as episodic events, semantic facts, and procedural skills by how to. Thermal memory is not a cognitive memory category. Question 40. What does Hain-of-Thought prompting encourage a model to do? Option A. Produce intermediate reasoning steps before the final answer. Option A. Keep reasoning and answer instantly. Option A. Only output a single token. Option I. Encrypt the reasoning so it cannot be read. The correct answer is A. Hain-of-Thought prompting asks the model to articulate intermediate reasoning steps before answering, which tends to improve accuracy on arithmetic, logic, and other multi-step tasks. Question 41. How does Hain-of-Thought extend Hain-of-Thought reasoning? Option A. It explores multiple reasoning branches and can backtrack, evaluating intermediate states. Option A. It forbids the model from exploring more than one path. Option A. It removes reasoning entirely. Option I. It is only about image generation. The correct answer is A. Hain-of-Thought generalizes by exploring a tree of multiple reasoning branches, evaluating intermediate thoughts, and backtracking, which helps on problems that benefit from search and look ahead. Question 42. A long-running conversation is exceeding the model's context window. Which technique best preserves useful context within the limit? Option A. Progressive summarization of older terms plus retrieval of relevant history. Option A. Bending the entire raw history every time regardless of size. Option A. Deleting the system prompt. Option A. Towering the overclock speed. The correct answer is A. To manage a growing conversation, agents summarize older terms and buy or retrieve only the most relevant prior content, for example, via embeddings, preserving important context while respecting the context window limit. Question 43. Which planning approaches can agents use to tackle complex goals? Select all that apply. Option A. Task decomposition into subgoals. Option A. Plan and execute plan upfront, then run steps. Option evoke style interleaved reason act planning. Option A. Refusing to plan and emitting random tokens. The correct answers are O and A. Agents plan via task decomposition, upfront plan and execute, or adaptive evoke style interleaving. Emitting random output is not planning.
The X section, knowledge in integration. Question 44. That is the correct high-level order of a basic EVA pipeline. Option A, code greater than chunk, greater than embed, greater than store, then at query time embed query, greater than retrieve, greater than generate. Option venerate, greater than store, greater than chunk, greater than load. Option A, embed, greater than deploy, greater than forget. Option A, train, greater than quantize, greater than serve only. The correct answer is VA. Wherever pipeline ingests and chunks documents, embeds and indexes them, then at query time embeds the query, retrieves the most relevant chunks, and feeds them to the generator as grounding context. Question 45. Thigh is chunk size and overlap an important design choice in EVA. Option A. Hunks too large add noise by cost, too small lose context, overlap preserves continuity across boundaries. Option hunk size has no effect on retrieval quality. Option smaller chunks always produce better answers. Option A. Overlap is only used to increase storage cost. The correct answer is VA. Hunking strategy strongly affects EVA quality. Oversized chunks dilute relevance and raise cost. Undersized chunks lose context, and overlap helps keep information that straddles chunk boundaries intact. Question 46. In Aveno stack, what does Hero Retriever provide for EVA systems? Option A. Optimized embedding and re-ranking microservices for retrieval. Option A. Consumer email client. Option A. Cooling solution. Option A. Billing dashboard. The correct answer is A. Hero Retriever delivers optimized embedding and re-ranking microservices that improve the retrieval stage of EVA, helping agents fetch more relevant, accurate context from enterprise data. Question 47. Which actions can improve retrieval quality in a EVA system? Select all that apply. Option A. Add a re-ranking step after initial vector retrieval. Option A. As hybrid search dense plus keyword by OU2 5. Option A. Improve chunking and embedding model quality. Option A. Randomly shuffle the index every query. The correct answers are A and A. Retrieval quality improves with re-ranking, hybrid, dense plus lexical, search, and better chunking by embeddings. Randomizing the index is not a retrieval improvement technique. Question 48. That is the role of a re-ranker, cross-encoder, in a retrieval pipeline. Option A. It rescores the top retrieved candidates for relevance to the query, reordering them. Option A. It generates the final answer text. Option A. It stores embeddings on disk. Option A. It trains the base model. The correct answer is VA. Re-ranker, often a cross-encoder, takes the initial retrieved candidates and rescores them for query relevance, producing a better ordered shortlist that improves the context handed to the generator. Question 49. That makes a EVA system multimodal. Option A. It can retrieve and reason over multiple data types such as text, images, tables, and audio. Option A. It uses two different programming languages. Option A. It runs on two OS. Option A. It only supports plain text. The correct answer is VA. Multimodal EVA ingests and retrieves across data types, text, images, tables, audio, often using multimodal embeddings, so the agent can ground responses in non-text content too.
Next section, Neo platform. Question 50. That is Neo Horde Rails used for? Option A. Providing programmable safety by topical by security rails around and the application. Option A. Draining embeddings for retrieval. Option A. Provisioning Kubernetes clusters. Option A. Rendering 3A graphics. The correct answer is A. Horde Rails is an open source toolkit for adding programmable Rails, topical, safety, jailbreak, fact checking, and more to GUI apps, often expressed with Holang, to keep agent behavior within policy. Question 51. That to the Yabi catalog by the Foundation endpoints, build.nvidia.com, primarily offer developers. Action hosted, ready to call endpoints to prototype with optimized foundation models. Action physical over rental locker. Action social media scheduler. Option word processor. The correct answer is the Yabi catalog build NVIDIA.com provides hosted V foundation endpoints for many optimized models, letting developers prototype quickly and later deploy the same models as self-hosted YE microservices. Question 52. Which of the following are part of the Agentic by the software ecosystem? Select all that apply. Action YE inference microservices. Action Video built by customized by deployed AS, including Rails and Retriever. Option A. Return inference wherever. Option A. Microsoft Excel. The correct answers are O and A. Video, including Rails and Retriever, and return are core to WebU's Agentic by Day stack. Excel is unrelated to that ecosystem. Question 53. Within the Lido framework, which capability is used to customize by fine-tune a base model, for example, with A or Wrapper? Action Lido model customization by fine-tuning, for example, Lido Customizer. Option Lido or Rails. Option A. Return dynamic batching. Option A. Vector database. The correct answer is Lido's customization by fine-tuning tooling, for example, Lido Customizer supports adapting base models via WAP and parameter-efficient techniques like distinct from Rails, runtime policy, and return serving. Question 54. When agent needs real-time speech-to-text and text-to-speech, which ABNO technology is designed for this? Option A. ABNO Live. Option ABNO Hanoi. Option A. ABNO Apping. Option A. ABNO Lerlin. The correct answer is WebAIO Eva offers optimized, real-time speech with voice and nano, making it the right choice for adding voice input by output to conversational agents. Question 55. The key benefit of deploying a model as a EA microservice is action was standardized web and optimized container that can run across cloud, data center, or workstation. Action it forces all inference to run on HMLs only. Action it removes the ability to scale. Action it deletes the model after one request. The correct answer is packaging a model as a EA gives you a portable, optimized container with a standard web, so you can deploy and scale the same model consistently across cloud, on-prem, or workstation environments.
Next section. Learn, Leonator, Maintain. Question 56. Thai is distributed tracing especially valuable for debugging agentic systems. Action. It captures the full multi-step trajectory, prompts, tool calls, latencies, so you can see where a run went wrong. Action. It guarantees the agent never errors. Action. It replaces the need for any model. Action. It only records over temperature. The correct answer is because agents take many non-deterministic steps, distributed tracing, for example, with Tang-Omith, Tang-Fuse, QNX, or OpenTelemetry, records each prompt, tool call, and latency, making it possible to pinpoint failures and bottlenecks. Question 57. Which metrics are important to monitor for a production agent? Select all that apply. Action, latency and time to first token. Action, loss by token usage per request. Action, task success by error rates. Action, the developer's typing speed. Correct answers are U and A. Ye production signals include latency, cost by token usage, and success by error rates, plus quality and safety metrics. Relevant factors like a developer's typing speed are not monitored. Question 58. Why downstream dependency keeps timing out, causing cascading failures? Which resilience pattern best prevents the failure from spreading? Option A. Circuit breaker. Option U. Increasing temperature. Option A. Removing all logging. Option A. Raising the context window size. The correct answer is A. The circuit breaker pattern detects a failing dependency and stops sending it requests for a cooldown period, preventing cascading failures and enabling fallback by degraded behavior until the dependency recovers. Question 59. Why deployed agents answer quality slowly degrades over months as the world changes? That is this phenomenon called, and what is the right response? Action. Respond by monitoring, refreshing the knowledge base, and re-evaluating by retraining as needed. Action. Overfitting, respond by deleting the dataset. Option. Tokenization, respond by buying more oblers. Option A. Quantization, respond by lowering precision further. The correct answer is A. Gradual quality loss as inputs or facts change is drift. Maintenance response is continuous monitoring and evaluation, refreshing AVA indexes, and retraining by updating prompts or models when metrics degrade.
Next section, Graffiti and compliance. Question 60. That is the most effective way to prevent an agent from executing harmful actions in production. Option: loyalty layer guardrails, input validation, output filtering, and action verification before execution. Option: relying solely on prompt engineering. Option: trusting the model to always behave. Option A: turning off monitoring to reduce overhead. The correct answer is A. Layered guardrails provide defense in depth, validate inputs, filter by scan outputs, and verify or gate consequential actions before they run. This is more resilient than depending on prompting alone. Question 61. Which defense most directly mitigates prompt injection attacks where untrusted content tries to hijack the agent's instructions? Option: separate and sandbox untrusted content, validate by scanit, and constrain tool permissions. Option: always concatenate untrusted text directly into the system prompt. Option: give the agent unrestricted access to every tool. Option A: disable all input checking. The correct answer is A. Prompt injection defenses include isolating by sandboxing untrusted content, scanning and validating it, keeping it out of trusted instruction channels, and applying least privilege to tools so a hijack has limited blast radius. Question 62. Which considerations are relevant for compliant, responsible agent deployments under regimes like Fiber and the NVIDIA? Select all that apply. Option A: data minimization and handling personal data by query appropriately. Option A: transparency and human oversight for higher risk users. Option A: maintaining auditability by logging of decisions. Option A: providing all documentation from auditors. The correct answers are O and A. Responsible, compliant deployments emphasize data minimization by query protection, transparency and human oversight scale to risk, and auditable logging. Concealing documentation is contrary to compliance obligations.
Next section, Human Way Oversight. Question 63. That is the primary purpose of a human in the loop failure checkpoint in an agent workflow. Option A: do let a human review, approve, or correct the agent at critical decision points. Option E: do make the agent run without any oversight. Option A: do increase overclock speeds. Option A: do remove all logging. The correct answer is A. Human in the loop checkpoints pause the agent so a person can review, approve, edit, or reject before a consequential step, improving safety and trust for high stakes or uncertain decisions. Question 64. When agent can issue refunds, which design best balances autonomy with oversight? Option 1. Auto approve small, low risk refunds but require human approval above a risk by amount threshold. Option E. Let the agent approve any refund of any size with no checks. Option: block the agent from ever issuing refunds, even tiny ones. Option A: require the model to retrain before each refund. The correct answer is A. A tiered approval design, autonomous handling of low risk cases with human approval gates above defined thresholds, balances efficiency against oversight for consequential actions like refunds. Question 65. Which patterns support effective human oversight of agents? Select all that apply. Option A: confidence-based escalation to a human when the agent is uncertain. Option B: approval gates before high impact or irreversible actions. Option: clear surfacing of the agent's reasoning and sources to the reviewer. Option A: hiding the agent's actions from any human. The correct answers are A, O, and A. Effective oversight uses confidence-based escalation, approval gates on high-impact actions, and transparent reasoning by sources for reviewers. Hiding agent actions undermines oversight entirely. That completes the practice test. Review the explanations for any questions you missed, and good luck on your certification exam.